Next up, we have Receive and Believe You from the Like a Dragon 8 Infinite Wealth soundtrack from the Sega sound team. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here, musically. So if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Before the disclaimers, if we somehow hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube before Christmas 2025, I will take a single fan fiction of the choice of the community, whatever y'all want, one fan fiction, and I will fully produce, record, and voice act an audiobook for it. We have to do this legit, though, so no account duping, no botting, no buying, nothing like that. Just bring people over to the community, share the videos, and use the hype function on YouTube. I don't know how that works, but we have people in the Discord that do know. And members, if you are a member on YouTube, a paid member, you get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you are a paid member on YouTube, regardless of the tier, you get access to the videos on Saturdays, so become a member today. Two disclaimers. Number one, this is my first time listening to this, so I will be pausing a lot, and I will be speaking a lot, as I will be explaining things and pointing things out as I hear them or as I realize them. And number two, this is recorded live on stream on a single take. I stumbled upon my words just now. I will do it again. Whatever happens, happens. So, with that being said, let's do this. Receive and Believe You. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we start with quite a few elements. It's a bit confusing at the start, but we have an initial synth giving us a little bit of texture, giving us more like the sound of wind. We bring in then our initial hit of percussion. It sounds like an anvil, maybe an anvil, maybe some sort of other metal being rattled as percussion, giving us an initial quasi beat. And we have a guitar giving us our initial riff, I think, and some vocals. We have some digitized vocals to an extent that are layered and make everything very ambiguous. Let me listen a little bit more. Let's see if we can tell if it's going to be a motif or a riff. Okay, so yes, the vocals ended up giving us an initial melody with what I think was our motif. Motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. And at the same time having a riff that resembles that motif. So the difference between a riff and a motif. So a motif is, as I said, the smallest version of your musical idea. Then you add what is called an ostinato to said motif, which is to repeat it over and over and over again. Then you have it play on a guitar or maybe a bass or maybe a keyboard nowadays. And with those elements together, you get yourself a riff. Riffs are much more accessible nowadays than motifs, which is why so many more artists are capable of making good music. Because as good as motifs are at being seeds, imagine a motif being a seed that is just there, that you need to know what kind of soil to put it on, what kind of, the way you have to water it, the way you have to take care of it. And a riff is an already grown stem, let's just call it something like that, right? Like it's the pre-planted tree. You don't have to take it all the way from the seed. It's already like, let's say, a 20th of the way through. It's not that much more developed than a motif, but it makes it a lot more accessible and a lot easier to develop and to plant over rather than having to start from scratch in the same way as you would a motif. It sounds like this might be a song instead of a piece. We still have to see. We brought in the drums to give us our actual beat, and then there you go. What did I do before all these LFAs? Nothing. We were doing mainly like slop reacts to random stuff, jamming shreds, and just playing video games. And then, yeah, I made the first LFA out of a completely spontaneous combination of spite and motivation. And now I'm in this room. So, yeah, we were talking, like, before we started recording the video, how the whole thing started. Yeah, I got a comment from a video I made that was me ranting about how I despise the classical music world. And in that video, I made the prediction that, oh yeah, some snob is going to be like, oh, you just don't like John Cage because you're not intellectual enough for it. And I was right. Like, immediately, like, within a day of me posting that video, I got that comment. So that, plus a couple of other comments, I decided just one stream, you know what, screw it. Just... let's grab this Ultra Kill, I think we started with Ultra Kill, track, and I'm just gonna explain it. And, yeah. Now, here we are, making, over 20 of these a week. So, spite the greatest motivator? No, the greatest motivator is fear. No, I do enjoy these. I was just not expecting this. Alright, let's see where this goes. Big Haze, thank you for the dollars. Alright, remind me afterwards. Oh, really fun guitar riff. Okay, so now we have Man You Make a Lot. And yeah, we release 5 videos a day, plus the gaming channel. I mean, it's all recordings from the streams, right? So, yeah. Okay, so now, on top of the riff, we bring in a melody that is panned. So, the concept of panning, right? Panning in audio is to prioritize one ear or one speaker over another. Nowadays, in our current day, year of the Lord 2025, we use stereo as our standard. Stereo means left versus right. There's 2 speakers. And we separate these into left and right because, you know, most living creatures, left ear, right ear, both of them work for the overwhelming majority of us. So there you go. Stereo, you have this, you have your left ear, right ear. Here you are in the middle, all happy, deformed, bald, therefore evil. So, oh yeah, I misspelled stereo. I spelled it as stereo. So let me re-spell it. There we go. So, stereo. That's besides the point here. So, point being that the track we are listening to right now, it's not one audio track, it's 2 of them. If you are going to have a single audio track, by the way, that is mono. That means a single channel. Stereo means double channel. Then we have surround, which is going to be... Right now we have... I think we've gone from surround. We've had 3.1, 5.1, and I think the current one is 7.1. I don't know if we've reached 9.1. But basically, each of these just means extra number of channels plus the subwoofer, which is like the bass one. So 3 channels, which is usually the 2 from stereo plus 1 behind. 5 channel, you add 2 more in the back. 7.1, you add 2 more between the 2 in the front and the 2 in the back, and so on and so forth. And each of them gets its own individual track and channel. So when it comes to stereo, we have left ear, right ear. We have those 2 tracks, those two channels, and the way it works is that you just coordinate whatever it is you're doing so that they both sound like a single coherent piece of music, because it is. It's offline right now. No, this is live queue. So the way this works, let's say we have a guitar track, and the guitar track is playing at 100% volume on both the left ear and the right ear. It's going to sound as if it comes straight from a head. However, if you start lowering the volume on one of the speakers, the further you make it, the further you lower the volume, the further to the other side it's going to sound. There are a few other tricks you can do, but this is basically it. And right now we are having what I believe to be 2 synths going on with complementary melodies. What they are doing is they are doing melodic displacement. This is a very, very, very rare thing that I think it's the first time we've ever covered this one. Because we've had rhythmic displacement, we've had octave displacement, and right now I'm going to call it a melodic displacement because we are having a melody, right? We have a melody of, let's say, each of these is a note. However, we are having two separate instruments playing this melody, but instead of this being a doubling, and a doubling being both of them play the same thing, we are having these two being played by one instrument, these two being played by another, these three being played by another, one being played by the first one, and so on and so forth. And on top of that, we are having instrument one being panned to the left, instrument two being panned to the right. They just so happen to be the same sample. So they sound like the same instrument being played back and forth between the two. Jazz, welcome to the day. Don't call me that. How you doing? So yeah, very, very cool, because then it makes it sound like the melody is bouncing between the two ears, while my guess over here is that it's two separate instrument tracks that are just displacing the melody between one another, giving us this really, really cool effect, while at the same time we are playing the riff. Let's see where it goes. Oh yeah, and the synth itself is vocal samples. Like, it seems like the distorted vocal samples. Too late on Jazz, I'm gonna tell Thomas. Alright, let's see where this goes. Ooh! Alright, and off the ramp we go with a very, very cool cadential thing, right? So off the ramp being a colloquial term that I use. Colloquial, by that I mean there's no academic official term for this, or at least I'm not using it for the sake of simplicity. Off the ramp is what I call a transition. It can be as short as a few beats, it can be as long as an entire section. And the purpose of it is to make your listener feel suspended up in the air at the mercy of inertia, kind of like going off a ramp, waiting to see where you land. How do you do that? Remove the drums. Maybe the bass as well. How are we doing it right now? We are doing a cadential phrase. So, when you are making music, you are doing one of two things. You are building tension, or you're resolving that tension. That point in between we call cadence. Now, excuse me. There are many things that can compose this, and let me go back another thing. So, a motif or a riff can then be turned into, is this the right button? Is this the right button? It can then be turned into a melody, and the melody can then be turned into a phrase, which then you can make into whatever shapes that you want. However, there is a special type of melody that is called a cadential melody. Cadential melodies are very much cliches. They are the punctuation marks of music. These are types of melodies that you are going to hear in almost every single song, because they are what resolve the cadences. They are the way of ending whatever phrases you're doing. They are the punctuation marks, which by themselves, they do not interfere with the melodies, or at least they're not meant to, and they are mainly just serving the harmonic purpose of continuing the music. The simplest of the phrases would be bum bum, that kind of just resolution, or the other way around, bum bum, or in a leap, bum bum. That kind of thing that you're gonna hear it a lot, and you're gonna hear it in pretty much every one of these things. And no, Fonzie, it just got a delay. It just has a delay. We have these cadential melodies, and right now we are using a cadential melody like that with the chords, and we are doing what is called accents with the drums. Accents is not, in music, it's not to tell if somebody's from York or Berkshire or from Worcester. It's for accentuation. And right now, as you can hear, the guitar hits 3 chords, and so does the drums. The drums also hit those 3 chords, and then they stop. They go off the ramp. They do that again. They land, and they go off another ramp. And and that's what we're doing. We're using cadential melodies with the chords, so it's cadential riffs to an extent, to give ourselves this really cool transitionary section. And then in the background, we have the other synths. Let's see. Oh, let's see. As we increase the tension on the drums and the synths. Up and... And we bring this... We drop the beat. Electronically. I was not expecting this. So it turns out this track over here would fall under the genre of industrial / electronic metal, because we have very much the components of a metal band, that being the guitars, the bass, the drums, and then we have electronic elements. We have a bunch of synths, we have a lot of digital sounds, and now we have gone ahead and dropped the beat. Something interesting about this drop of the beat is that we are using the motif from the melody from before. We're just side chaining it. Side chaining is when you have an instrument that kind of fades out, like the volume gets turned down and then back up whenever the drums hit. In this case would be the bass drum that hits for the dropping of the beat. And during those times that it's faded up, it follows the same shape of the motif. A lot cooler than I was expecting, so let's see where it goes. Yeah, that was unexpected. Oh, that's really cool. So we are taking combinations of the riff and the motif, and we are basically just splicing them up in this really, really, really cool dropping of the beat. Very straightforward, so this is not as dubsteppy as some of the other pieces you would expect, but at the same time, it's very clearly electronic music. This is really good. Let's see where it goes. Oh, quick pro. All right, and now we bring variation number 2, I would say, or variation number 1 of the dropping of the beat. We have changed the drums. We are changing the rhythm of the drums, and we are now acting accordingly. And it sounds like we have a call and response within the drums themselves. Call and response being when you have 2 musical lines, one starts, and when one stops, number 1 starts. 2 stops, 1 starts, a musical conversation kind of thing. And we are having this with the drum itself. We're doing the bass drum doing its thing, and then in between the higher end of the drum. So the bass drum and then the snare drum with the rest of the stuff, giving us this really, really, really good. This is really, really cool. Very, very fascinating to hear it after such a quick turnaround right after the first dropping of the beat. But it works because it feels like an escalation of the dropping of the beat, and the rest of the elements are pretty much the same. We're just doing the new drums, which just goes to show how important drums are. We're mentioning it. If you want to listen to an example of how important drums can be compared to the melody that you're doing, how much it can change the feel for it, listen to the intro of The Mirror by Dream Theater. Yes, The Mirror by Dream Theater. You have the guitar doing the exact same thing for a full minute. Chon, 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 chon. And everybody else changes every repetition, like every few repetitions it changes, and there's points where it's difficult to tell if the guitar is still doing the same thing. It's insane. I'm not playing it here because Dream Theater copyrights it, but yeah, really, really, really cool stuff. Let's see where it goes. Yep, variations on that, just changing the rhythm around. And we are giving more time for the snare part to have more time while shutting up the rest of the elements. So we are delaying the rhythmic part a little bit more in this version, or this variation, so to speak. Let's see where this goes. Oh, it's really cool. Off the ramp we go again. Okay, we bring now what is called an elongated version of that melody that I said was between the ears, the panned version of the melody. So elongation is when you take something and you make it slower. It's that simple. It's to slow something down in concept, usually. It's not that you just slow down the track, but that you just slow down or elongate the duration of the notes. The opposite of elongation is reduction. So yeah, we're having that right now with this going off the ramp more ambient thing. We have changed the snare for snapping of the fingers, and there you go. By the way, if anybody wants to see how much of a freak I am, I can snap my thumb. Thumb and index. Like, we can all snap, like, many people can snap middle finger, or even ring finger, but I can snap thumb and index. There you go. So, anyway, let's see where this goes. Oh, it's very cool. How do I snap my thumb and my index? Look, it's the same concept as when you make a little circle in your hand and you just, you know, the sound you get for doing this. You know, if you're trying to do the gallop, that kind of thing. But you just hold your thumb. You pretty much hold it in place, tension with the index. You make the rest of the shape with the rest of the hand, and then you just push the thumb until the lower side of your thumb snaps against the index. And there you go. So, so now you know. Alright, let's see where this goes. I like the ambient. So yeah, we have a synth holding down a chord in the background. And so yeah, the drums are now changed to like shakers. Something like that. Very ambient. Like, this reminds me of a song by Haken. I think it's The Architect by Haken. It has a section that is similar to this. So The Architect by Haken. Be warned, this is a 15-minute song, and I think it's from The Architect. It's from their album. The album is called. It's not Initiate. I think it's Affinity.exe. I think that's the name of the album. It's one of the songs. I think it's from The Architect. That has a section that reminds me a lot to this, and it has a bass solo during that. It's really, really cool. All right, let's see where this goes. It just came to mind, like, the similarities sounded a lot to that. It's a 15-minute song, so there's that. By the way, Haken, another really, really good progressive metal band. I would say they are the British version of Dream Theater, and they make prog metal sound digestible. Especially I think it's Affinity.exe album. Really, really good. Really good. Anyway, let's see where this goes. Oh, there's the vocal samples. Finally playing in front. We've got some acoustic guitars now. So I would say that the structure of this piece, because this is not a song, there are no lyrics, the vocals are not enough of a driving force for the music. So I would say this is a piece, but more importantly, structurally speaking, this is theme and variations. This is a fairly rare structure for... by the way, in instrumental music, we call it form. Form is just a structure of your music. And the form for this is theme and variations. Essentially, we have been doing the same exact riff and the same exact motifs. We've just been doing slight variations of them, one after the other after the other. The difference is that in the traditional classical theme and variations, you would do the theme all the way through, which would be like developing it all the way through, like seeing all the melodies and everything. You would stop, then you would start the variation number 1. You would stop, you would start variation number 2. The most famous theme and variations, I would say, is vous dirai je maman. I think that's how you write this, by Mozart. He takes the melody from it, which was as far as we know, it's a French folk melody. Bum 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 bum. He takes this. I think this is how you write this. And he makes a theme and variations on that, and very, very, very famous. Yes, French. By the way, if you've ever heard that melody and you're like, no, but that's Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, or that is the ABCs, that technique of adding new lyrics to existing music or to change the lyrics to existing melodies is called contrafactum. That is the name of this technique. So if you ever hear the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and they call it Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, even though the original is À vous dire je maman, even though the original is a folk melody, contrafactum is what the name of the game is, when you change lyrics to an existing melody, or you add lyrics to an existing melody, or you replace lyrics to an existing melody by somebody else. Contrafactum. There you go. So, let's see. And it doesn't work. There you go. Let's see where it goes. Oh yeah, and now we have the acoustic guitar playing, which it always just has such a different vibe. The instrumentation is always really important, and this is just fun. I need to play so many games, dude. I need to play so many games. I have a list of games that I need to play. I'm not really gonna show it right now, because if I show the list, I know that if I show the list right now and the YouTube people see it, they're gonna get mad at me for having such a long list of video games. Anyway, let's see where this goes. Yeah, we're just developing this. How are you gonna end this? I think this is outro territory. Yeah, because we're recapitulating stuff from before. Because, yeah, now we're bringing back up the riff that we did before. Do not fade this out, dude. Please do not. Okay, there you go. We tease a starting over of the piece, but instead we just leave it at the moment of resolution, doing what we call a half cadence. Once again, when you're making music, building tension, resolving tension moment in between, we call a cadence. However, there is a very special type of cadence called a half cadence, which is to leave the cadence unresolved. So we basically take the resolution part of it and we just don't do it. We leave at the very, very, very last minute. We're just YouTube people. No, I'm talking about the video people. So they're gonna see the full list, like everyone, and then it's gonna be on like a full video, and everyone's gonna make fun of me because I never played fucking Halo or whatever. So yeah, no, half cadence, this is how we're gonna finish this track, which is, it's a special one, but it's not that uncommon. Usually a half cadence is meant so that it gets resolved at the start of the next phrase, which in this case, this piece would end, giving you a head start and the momentum you need to start the next one. For example, I do that. If you listen to my songs, and I'm gonna do a self-insert over here. So if you listen to Second Conquest, and then you immediately follow it by As We March. Those are two songs that I wrote, by the way. They're available in all streaming and all music platforms. If you listen to Second Conquest, and when it ends, you immediately put As We March, like you put them one after the other. Second Conquest ends on a half cadence that resolves in As We March. And that's how they're composed. So, yeah, that's how this track over here ended. and it just leads into whatever the song, whatever next piece song is. And there you go. That was Receive and Believe You from the Like a Dragon 8 Infinite Wealth, I believe, soundtrack thing is. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. So if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, if we somehow hit 10,000 subscribers before Christmas 2025, I will take a single fan fiction of the choice of the community, whatever y'all want, one fan fiction, and I will fully produce, record, and voice act an audiobook for it. We have to get there through legitimate means, though. So no account duping, no botting, no buying accounts or people, nothing like that. Sharing the video, bringing people over to the community, using the hype function on YouTube. I don't know how it works, but we do have a Discord channel where they coordinate that kind of stuff. All that kind of stuff, right? And members, if you're a member, you get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you are a paid member on YouTube, regardless of the tier, you get access to the videos when they go up, when I schedule them. So become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3.5 seconds, I will be linking it in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, go to the Discord server, link down below, go to the LFA requests channel, and follow the instructions on the pinned message. And if you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. If you're not in Europe, no worries. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch. So, if you live in, I don't know, Minneapolis, and you're like, oh, but what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary over here? I don't live there. No worries. Just go to Discord or Twitch, and it's all there. And follow the gaming channel, because I have a gaming channel, because of course I have a gaming channel. Where else could I possibly have? I'm on YouTube. Games are Basterd. That's where I put the recordings of the gaming after shows when they happen. And yeah, link down below, or just search on YouTube for the username. Same username as James R. Basterd. Just swap the J for a G and you got it. And yeah, there you go. There you go. That was Receive and Believe You, Like a Dragon, Yakuza. Really good stuff, man. That was really, really good. But yeah, let's move on.